Beers with Chad.
Hey, I'm Nick Scarvelis. I'm a 2016 Olympian for the Greek national team, and Chad Wesley Smith is helping me out prepare my strength and conditioning for the upcoming 2019 season. So today we've got some jumps, some skips, a little bit of weightlifting. Make it happen.
Small workout today, just for some general athleticism, coordination. Still very much like a capacity block right now, so just building up, getting ready to get ready, basically getting ready for real hard training.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. I'm always ready to get ready.
Yeah.
I'm always ready. I don't know why you're wearing that sweatshirt. I mean, I'm not like particularly one of those like university guys that's like, you know, all about their alma mater. And
I only got like 3 sweatshirts, maybe only 2 sweatshirts,
yeah.
And I only got ones that people give me for free. So Cal strength coaches give me this one. I got one from the 49ers strength coaches. I got one from the Rams strength coaches. Those are.
And that's it. That's your hoodie collection.
That's my entirety of sweatshirts.
Okay. I'm the same with my hats. This is a gift from the school that I'm currently a volunteer assistant coach at, San Diego State. The Go Aztecs, you know. So just got to rep wherever I go. Also Velasa. Go Velasa.
Yeah, your Olympic tattoo in there.
Go IOC. Thomas Black's doing a great job, and you know, just proud of all of that.
No corruption. They hate corruption. You can spring for color on that.
No, not at all.
No.
I barely sprung for this, man. I went in. I was extra broke, more broke than I am currently, and my girlfriend at the time said, "You got to do it now." I'd been putting it off, and so we go to this like cool LA tattoo shop, and I initially wanted it like this big, right?
Yeah.
You know, just like, you know, taking up the whole kind of upper arm here, and I was like, "How much would this be?" And the woman was like, 5 perfect circles. It's not gonna be cheap. Which was a weird thing to say. And then she like gives me this price, and I was like, oh my God, like I just don't actually have that number in my bank account. So I was like, what about this big, this big, this big, and finally settled on this, which was kind of stupid, seeing as this is gonna be a tattoo
what can
forever.
I get for $37, man?
And 87 cents, yeah. So and the black and white was, I wanted it that way anyway.
Okay.
But the goal is, just because I think it looks a little small on my massive arms, I told myself that when I break the Greek national record, which is 20 meters 74, so I'm 13 centimeters off, when and if I do, I want to get the laurel wreath around it as a token to my success, and also to fill in the empty space where I couldn't pay for originally. So that's my story. But anyway, yeah, so I'm all repped up and ready to do some jumps.
All right.
Let's do it. Actually, yeah. What do we got first? It's the kneeling jumps. Kneeling hops.
Yeah.
So I've been doing those.
Let's
starting with
make
left.
sure you've been doing them right. Yeah.
Right, straight, and then to the left. And it's just been foot flat on the back.
Yeah.
And I've kind of given myself, like, I put cones out just to kind of give myself a reference for how far I should be jumping.
Yeah.
On this, I may end up slipping and falling on my face, but either way.
It's maybe a little shorter back here.
Let's do it over there.
Really emphasize soft, controlled landing.
And I've been doing it kind of like a sprint mechanic for the jump to the side.
You can land on both legs.
And on both legs.
Yeah.
See? This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
I'll do the same one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And forward.
So you can land both legs a little bit wider base, like right
a
here.
A little more square.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So all the work is having to be done by his up leg. So the knee that's on the ground isn't generating any force, so this is just overloading the single leg. And it's a pretty, more of an extensive drill. So it's not, we're not going for maximum distance necessarily, just working to control his landing, control his body in space.
Doing all right?
Yep. With these extensive drills, the goal is for every rep to be identical. That there's just a nice rhythm, balance, coordination to the movement. And if you're using this kind of drill as you feel comfortable, that you're landing consistently, that you're moving well with control, then you can add amplitude to it.
Okay.
We could end up creating like a vertical oriented variation of this too, where you'd start on one knee and just try and jump straight up as high as you can, and then land back on both feet as well.
Okay, yeah. Want to try that right now?
Yeah, if you want to try one or two, just to kind of...
Start kneeling or standing?
Start in the exact same position you were.
And just straight up and down?
Yep. It's like a hard position to generate.
Yeah, exactly.
Force from,
my brother was watching me do a set of these, and he was a decathlete and a sprinter, and he was watching me, and he just goes, "Yeah, do it again and try and just be more athletic. I don't know, it looks pretty bad." And I was like, "Well, you try it, you know." And he goes down and he puts his back foot up.
Yeah, that's cheating.
And I said, no, back foot flat on the ground. He does it, and he doesn't even get off the ground. He starts to move, and he just goes, oh, it is hard.
As a benchmark, I think the kind of farther distances I've had people go in that is they go about 9 feet in either direction.
Laterally?
Yeah.
And straight ahead as well?
Yeah. They're smaller people than you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like handicaps. Don't limit me.
Sizist.
I'll do one more set vertically, just for fun. Okay.
We got the zigzag series and stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. The twisting jumps, they kind of bother my ankle.
Okay.
Landing, and then it's just, and it could be that I was just never really I'm not landing and controlling it, but coming on the inside like that and twisting off of it, they're giving me problems.
And who knows if you were doing them right at all, so.
You're right. You would describe them to me as a straight line, starting with toes facing the line, jumping and landing with toes facing the line from the other side.
So, let's say I'm gonna go this way.
Yep.
Twisting jump.
I was doing it right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that here, actually if I'm going this way, that landing and starting to move to the inside.
Okay.
It's just giving me grief there.
That's fine, we skip that then.
And then zigzag jumps.
Perfect. Yeah, I just walk back in between. So this next series that Nick's doing, zigzag hops, do double leg, single leg. Again, it's just coordination, control. I want every jump to be identical. Most of the time I'd have someone doing this down a line, and if you start 2 feet away from the line on one side, I want you to land 2 feet past the line on the opposite side, and every jump to be identical with perfect, the rhythm of the takeoff and landing being identical from jump to jump. And these are just really good extensive drill to help prepare the athlete's joints for more intensive work to come, to help improve coordination, body control.
Okay, I think you have me doing 5.
And what we were doing from loading with these was just starting at 3 sets, then going to 4 sets, then going to 5 sets. So just adding volume through this accumulation block that we're in. And because we're aiming at building up Nick's capacity during this time, when we look to develop speed, power qualities in an intensive block, it's all going to be done with complete rest periods, especially, shot put, Nick's sport it really has no aerobic component to it, but in an extensive period, an accumulation period, doing it with slightly less than complete rest, as long as the quality of movement is not degrading, is fine, because it's going to get him a little bit better shape to be able to handle more hard training going forward. Do you feel comfortable to do single leg on here, or is it too slick, you think?
Should be fine.
All right.
Just give me like 20 seconds.
You take as long as you want, man.
I'll tell you, this kind of training, I actually, especially with the med ball stuff you've been having me do, I haven't been doing med ball in any sort of volume since like high school.
Mm-hmm.
We'd mess around with it a little bit in college, but it's and the plyometrics as well. I mean, the emphasis once you go to university ends up being so much so get in the gym, get those numbers up, and then sometimes lose touch occasionally with some of these more athletic movements. So I think this is good stuff for me.
Yeah, I think in the university setting, and the throws coaches always talk about fall conditioning period.
Yeah.
And say like conditioning is a big word. It could mean a lot of things, but it's all about context.
Yeah.
And we would do some tempo run type of stuff, but it was harder than tempo runs, because when I got to Cal, I'd come straight out of playing this like an all-star football game in the summer.
Yeah.
So I was in shape, and we were doing harder running than that for a sport that involves no running and no aerobic capacity.
Right.
And it's not, having some aerobic capacity is beneficial because you recover better. You're just not a fat fuck. You can, do more.
That's a goal of mine.
Yeah, you can.
One day down the road.
You can tolerate more training.
Yeah.
But, doing different kinds of throws to get in shape for throwing, and doing different kinds of jumps to get in shape for a sport that's kind of two jumps with a twist in the middle of it. It's a lot more sensible.
I like to think so.
Yeah, and shot putters, from outside people's perspective, might be that shot putting is just this sport for big, strong, slow guys, but it's like, you gotta make the ball go 13 meters per second.
Yeah.
You gotta be fucking athletic to do that.
I think one of the guys who's been kind of stepped up their social media profile is David Storrell. It's like this last few months. And almost everything he's doing that he's showing is just, like little tiny jumps, or a little tiny plinth jump, right, with a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Or similar stuff to what I'll just be doing right now, little single leg zigzag jumps. And this is a guy who's got probably significant strength base built over years, probably started training very early. But at the same time, if you watch the kind of totality of his movements, everything really is geared toward speed. That's the number one. He's a lean guy. Yeah, he's tall, but he's lean. And I think the most recent video he posted was him doing a trap bar vertical jump.
Mm-hmm.
And it was high. He got off the ground, and there was weight on the bar. So, he's
Yeah, it's definitely a sport of how fast you can move, because 16 pounds ain't heavy. Like that, and that was the biggest takeaway from my own track career was it was about pushing the numbers. And I did a lot of jumps and sprints and had really high results in some of those.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't the proportion that I should have been doing. Yeah. And you look at, the classic Werner Gunther preparation, physique video, and he's doing a ton of extensive jumping, and he's running hurdles and doing the hurdle bounds and all that stuff, and it's about being an athlete.
I agree.
So showcase to us your wonderful athleticism, Mr. Scarvelis.
Me being an athlete.
Yeah.
All right. Single leg zigzags.
Jump right at you, shorty.
To the 10 meter.
Yeah.
10 yard.
I saw that coming a little bit.
There we go. And really what we try to get there is an eccentric with the adductor magnus, really kind of.
All right, so I could already tell from the way that you're going to do that one. A single leg zigzag, I want to take off and land on the same foot.
Oh, I will tell you, sounds like I'm making things up now, but I have been also doing those, but I've been doing these when it says single leg zigzag. I've then just been additionally doing small jumps over across a line.
As a different thing. These are single leg zigzag, what I just did.
Gotcha. So what I was just doing there is nothing.
It's an exercise, but it's not the one that I wanted.
Gotcha. All right. No, we can do this one on this surface.
Yeah.
I don't have a line, but here's what it is.
The line is in your mind. So good. This is exactly what we want. Every jump is identical. Quick contact. Just good reactive qualities.
I'm just doing the opposite.
That's fine, yeah. And did I not send you a video that had all of these jumps in them?
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
I will tell you, just to retain some honor here, that video did not include everything.
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head which ones it did not include, but it was not 100% extensive, and that's the word of the day.
All right.
But no, the majority of the blame is still on me.
We may just have to pull it up on the Apple TV when we get back to the house and see what is what on
okay, there. Yeah. All for that. I would say no matter what, still feeling good. Lower body joint wise, and feeling a little leaner,
What's your body weight now?
286, so about 5 pounds drop from when we last met, which was just about a month ago.
Yeah,
month and a half.
You're in week 6 of the program, starting.
Yeah.
You're about to start week 6.
No,
you're finishing week 6, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the sexy type of training that people like to see on the internet videos. A bunch of extensive single leg hops.
I can't even visualize how to turn this into clickbait.
That's all about if you use the thirst angle off the start. Yeah, real low angle shot of your tights.
I did wear the extra tight ones. And actually they're sweats, they're just really tight sweats, so I caught myself covered there.
Throwing pants.
Throwing pants.
Yeah.
Chad jumps with Harry Greek Olympian.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know if any content could be as interesting as just an extensive med ball throw video.
Well, then you have to stick around for tomorrow. One more.
So you were probably getting those single leg zigzags from the Gunther video.
Yeah.
When he's going down the pad like that.
Yeah.
Right
It
before
was fun.
Right before he does the world's greatest feat of athleticism.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Trademark Chad Wesley Smith, 2018.
I mean, I think at the UCLA, the throws camp, the overnight camp,
Yeah.
was probably the first time that I ever saw that video. Or Tony Chiarelli has his little one-day clinic.
Uh-huh.
He might have showed it to us there. But either way, it was like a life-changing experience.
I would say it's I mean, at that point, you were familiar with like lifting and jumping, right? I mean, like when you watch it, it's fast. I don't think you really like, you can grasp what he's doing until you go and like actually try and replicate anything close to that.
Yeah.
And then kind of like imagine yourself as big as he was.
Yeah. And the video is so fantastic though, because as he starts going, you're like, wow, this is very impressive. And he's going on top of the box and down and on top of the box and down. And that's very impressive. And then it goes to like the next stage is the hurdles. And you're like, well, fuck, like he's still going.
And then he reaches the end of the hurdles and up comes this wall and you think he's gonna stop.
Yes, but then he just bounds like a jungle cat.
Yeah.
Those double leg bounds up the giant staircase. And by the end of it, you're just your mind is blown.
I would say though, I mean it is still, I think, an outlier considering how big he was and how big the stairs were and all that kind of thing, but there is such an emphasis placed on that in European training. I mean, I was talking about Sorrel earlier, but like everybody, I mean, that's just how they train. That's so key. And in an interesting way, like, I know in my training, I've worked with many different coaches, and I've also, just having the internet and sometimes kind of being on my own, I've like tried so many different kinds of exercises when it comes to everything, lifting, but also this kind of athletic development kind of thing, speed drills and jumping. And so you never really get that good at one thing, even though you may have like overall developed your power output to even close to equivalent levels of someone like Gunther or one of these guys. Maybe you haven't maybe he's been hitting that specific sequence of plyometrics for something like a decade, right? I mean, I go over and I train in Greece, and my friends, I mean, they're really, really good at some stuff, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're much stronger than me.
Yeah.
They've done that one type of repetitive push jerk, I mean, for years and years. So, and it usually comes down to like coaching being the same, and just this belief in like mastery of those skills is going to transfer into performance. But anyway, it's interesting. Okay, I've got med ball.
All right. So what we're doing with Nick here, just general medicine ball throws. You can go ahead and throw. I'm just putting voiceover on it. Just some medicine ball throws. Of course, he is a thrower, so throwing is the most important thing he can do in his training. And especially at this very early stage of the year for him, general throws are important, and all of these would be considered general throws compared to the shot put. You ever test your overhead back?
Huh?
You test your overhead back?
Do I test it with the shot?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, I have before.
Yeah.
I've thrown about 18 meters.
Okay.
And that's just something I've never really trained too much.
Yeah.
And the technique and also the power, I'm not that good at it, but I mean, I know guys with ridiculous.
All right, Ryan Krauser's got to have a huge one.
I have no idea about him. I know Filip Mihaljevic, I think, has the biggest of a friend of mine, 2288. And then, I mean, he's tall, long levers, explosive guy. It's getting real slick. Okay. I've never felt athletic doing this movement.
So a really excellent thing about medicine ball throws as a training tool is that they are a true explosive exercise. Because the ball leaves your hands, there's no deceleration to it, and it allows you to develop power in so many different directions and planes of movement. Also, generally very simple exercises to learn and execute. Not much fancy equipment needed. We use these a lot, of course, with throwers, football players, and basketball players can really benefit from them, especially ones that are more vertically oriented throws, like throws for height. Same with volleyball players. Baseball players are going to really benefit from rotational drills, or rotational throws as like a special strength exercise, but all of these different types.
And there we go.
Of general throws. Getting too slick. You got a towel in the bag or anything?
I don't. I was unprepared. Here's a tip for your kids. Don't throw med balls unless you also have a towel to keep the moisture from your hands, preventing really common mistakes like slipping and that kind of thing. So as you're watching, just take down some notes and just have, keep an eye out.
When you're at school, at SDSU too, these diving ones, if you want to use pole vault standard or a high jump pit, and dive onto it, it makes it, you can do that with all the throws. It's way more effective.
Yeah, this one for sure.
Yeah.
I should. I also just like fall onto the ground sometimes though.
Oh.
It's
true commitment. That was like Greg in his javelin throw.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, that whole thing's just exploded.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how many throws coaches pentathlons there now are.
Yeah.
The hashtag's got like 55 posts. It's awesome.
So this throw that Nick was doing, the scoop throw or underhand forwards, that's got particularly high transfer for like a offensive lineman, as it's going to mimic the position of him coming out of his stance. Wrestlers develop power in their shot. I think that was number 6 on that one anyways.
I didn't count the one where it really slipped off.
Okay.
But by that metric, I shouldn't count that one either, and I think I will.
Well, you at least got 2 halves there.
All right.
This next one, the diving throw, again, huge transfer for offensive linemen as a special strength exercise, and you can manipulate these exercises like different points on force velocity curve by using different weights of med ball. You know, when the goal of the exercise
this is getting tough, man.
Too slick? What if you jump off?
I can just jump off the concrete.
Yeah. Yeah, we would have gone to the track at OCC. This is the junior college, like right down 2 blocks from the house.
Yeah.
But I don't know in the afternoon if they were going to be having practice, and
this works just fine.
So with this kind of throw, what we're really looking for is the energy comes from his legs through his body into his arms. So it's a throw driven by the lower body, finished by the upper body. Who has the highest throws coach pentathlon score? Martine?
Oh, Marich? No.
Yeah, no?
He actually tied Garza to the point.
Ah.
Which was fun. No, actually, I think the highest is still. There were a couple people who did it with the senior category rating on. I'm not gonna begrudge them that, but they're incorrect. I still think the highest legitimate one is J.C. Lambert.
I don't know him.
Out at SIU, Southern Illinois.
Okay.
One of John Smith's former athletes. And he put up 39. Of course, Judd Logan, 4-time Olympian in the hammer.
Yes.
With the correctly graded Masters category, put up, I believe, a little over 4,000. So that's pretty impressive. He threw almost 21 meters with the women's weight.
Yeah, Judd's a fucking tank.
No, actually with the 25-pound weight, heavier than women's weight. It's incredible.
Yeah.
That guy's a machine. I got one more of these.
Who's that dude, Pobo, that throws for UVA?
Yeah, Pobo Efekoro.
Is he from Nigeria?
I believe he's born in the States.
Okay.
But I believe his parents are from Nigeria, so.
He's very strong.
He's something. I think the 220 for 7 front squat video.
220 incline bench too.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the 220 for 7 caught my imagination more.
It's very strong, yeah.
Just because I know he can, incline.
Yeah.
He's just so big upper body wise. But yeah, that guy's he's something. There are a couple really strong dudes in the NCAA right now. I mean, even I remember talking to Mustafa Hassan, shot putter at Colorado State, Egyptian shot putter, and the guy had. He told me he had 320 kilo back squat. Just a very solid number for a guy who, again, back squat's just like one of his exercises, right? Okay, rotational throws.
You ever throw the hammer at UCLA?
No, not even once. I think I've never thrown the 16-pound hammer. Isn't that incredible? I don't know if I should be broadcasting that just in case I ever want to coach. But, or the weight. Because when I showed up to school there, we had such this depth of talent in every event but the shot put. So, and that was my best event coming out of high school. And so for my first basically 3 years, it was don't worry about your other event. The discus, never even pick up the hammer. We don't need to teach you that. And it was a shot put, which I was happy about.
I threw the javelin in 8th grade for a club track.
Yeah.
My elbow still hurts.
Elbow? That was what got you?
Oh yeah.
I got the lat rib kind of thing where just everything was falling apart.
Javelin really fucked your body up.
Yeah, man. Makes you wonder. Career javelin throwers.
Other side.
A lot of pain. No, it's 2.
That is 3.
And I slipped.
Yeah, my best friend was Pac-12 or Pac-10 champ at the time in the javelin.
Yeah.
So 74.
Yeah, it's a throw.
But he's got all kind of sublexed ribs and.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Long-term issues?
No.
Okay.
He just sits at a desk, so it doesn't matter. But. You know Ryan Young at all?
No.
Yeah, he was he's thrown over 80 meters in 81 something.
When?
But he went to Cal. He's just a year behind me. Very talented, huge, strong, fast guy.
He threw 81 in college?
I think he threw 78 in college.
Wow.
81 as a post-collegiate, but then would go to trials and throw 59.
It's a drop-off, man. That's
just a bit.
Tough to overcome.
Yeah. His strength was more physical than mental.
As is most people, Deep. I pride myself on neither of those, but my emotional strength. Which makes me neither an alpha male or a beta male, but you know, something really different. Okay, and shot throws. In your really well edited instructional video, the shot throws were performed by, I think, like a high school quarterback.
Yeah.
He used both hands.
Yeah, you like keep both hands on it.
But you actually want it to be just like push on the ball with one hand.
Yeah. He was not a shot putter.
Yeah, yes. I know. Okay, all right.
Hold with both hands. Push with one hand.
You can't tell that is my most comfortable throwing motion.
Well, we'll see how these left-handed ones are. All right, I'm going to mark that one, and then I'm going to see if I can beat it with my left.
Let's do it. I believe in you.
Left-handed challenge.
Keep the elbow up. That's all I'm going to say. That was this one? Was this my best one? Or
that would have been one of your right-handed ones. It was the one I was standing on, this one.
Okay, that was it. All right, man, that's sad. All right. Now, of course, if you beat me, I have gentleman's privilege to respond.
Then you'd be going over your planned training loads, so...
Oh, is that what's important here? Come on. Ah! That's it.
Tie or win?
You beat me if that was my mark.
That was
right here.
Yeah.
All right, now I get one more.
All right, the challenge. So mine's the one just past that. Then.
No, that's the one I just put in.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. This is for pride, for ego, for...
I really lunged at that finish instead of getting up tall, but...
No, it's okay. I'm gonna reverse and everything. This is for a lot.
I know, I'm saying mine was a shitty finish. I couldn't handle the pressure. Technique fell apart.
Whoa!
Oh, not even
and
close.
There's the slip. And it's game over.
Womp, womp, womp.
All right. I throw in the towel. You still got it, you know? Speaking, you should come out of retirement and participate in the Throws Coaches Pentathlon.
I don't know if my body would...
Hashtag NCAA Coaches Challenge.
I don't know if my body would survive the ordeal.
The javelin? Is that what you're worried about? Or strapping up and getting going in the shot put? Because that one you're actually going to care about. That's the problem.
Yeah. I did a Highland Games a couple of years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, remember when I came in through at UCLA? That was my one day of training for it.
That was some solid... Yeah, you threw in, I think, those shoes.
No, I just had like running shoes on, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
When you threw shot put?
Because I was gliding.
I could have sworn you were gliding in Sperry's.
I may have taken one.
Okay, all right.
But,
never mind. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So you took it seriously?
Yeah.
You taped up, too. I remember them being all right.
I think I threw like 16 meters-ish that day. I just know that it was parking there was such a clusterfuck. So I got down there later than I had planned, and you guys had already started, and I didn't want to like hold things up. So I was like, I'll just skip the warm-ups because I haven't done this in 4 years.
And you'd be able to do that.
Or moved in a rotational manner.
Yeah.
My right glute, hip, low back for 2 weeks.
I want to say you took like at max like 10 throws, 15 throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. You heard what Quinn was talking about in his...
Hey, you know, it was fun, right?
That was infinity times more than my previous training load.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, true. Yeah, the ratio was off.
Yeah, the ratio is way off.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Technically, I've got weightlifting to do.
All right, we'll go do a bit of lifting.
Do a bit of lifting.
Those are fine. Just do it like that with weight.
That was the plan. I'll stick to that. Bumpers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
All right. I'm comfortable with 20s.
This is the lighter session, yeah.
Yeah, this is 65% for 15 reps, so it's just kind of moving. And I believe my 65% is something right around 140 or 150 kilos. No, 160. 145?
What are you basing it off of?
250?
162.5.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Feel the pressure on your whole foot more. There you go.
I was kind of to the outside?
You're probably excessively thinking about being back in your foot.
Oh, I was here. Okay.
Yeah, your big toe, little toe, and heel to have even pressure.
Okay. So I was just kind of falling back a bit. Okay.
As you made the transition from college at UCLA to the glamorous life of post-collegiate shot put glory, what's been the
Professional shot put, as I like to call it.
What's been the toughest part of that?
The toughest part about post-collegiate shot putting? I think when I first graduated, my plan was to stick to working with my college coach after I graduated, and I think that's a pretty smart decision for most people, just because changing things up. Usually, if you decided to go post-collegiately, what you've been doing has been pretty good, so changing things up is not a good first decision as a post-collegiate. So
you had a really good senior season.
My senior season was my best one, qualified for the games, and so I just said, it would seem stupid to all of a sudden switch up where I'm going and pick another kind of coaching and training system. So I stuck with staying at UCLA and working with Coach Frazier, and I was living in Los Angeles, and I think when I was at school, the support system that kind of allowed me to train and make my situation at UCLA as successful as it was when I was in school was fantastic. Between the sports medicine and the doctors that are available for athletes on campus, everything down to the meal plan, to nutrition, and all these kinds of assets that I had as a student athlete. That made that specific. Oh yeah, good call. That made that specific situation work. Outside of that was a little bit difficult, especially just living in Los Angeles.
There you go.
So
really think about trying to push the ground away from you.
Okay.
All right.
Did it look like it was just kind of...
The first couple you're initiating it with your back a lot more than by driving with your legs.
Okay. I'll just go to these. Is that all right if I mix metal and bumper plates?
The bumpers are key for likes.
Key for, yeah?
Yeah, hashtag bumpers for likes.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you put a bunch of the competition discs on, it doesn't look like much, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
If I could do the CrossFit bumpers exclusively though, then maybe I'd have like 4,000 Instagram followers. But overall, yeah, I think going post-collegiate was just, I mean, I found myself in LA battling traffic, not going to be able to make it to the UCLA weight room by the time it was supposed to close.
Yeah.
I'd find myself going into 24-hour fitnesses and doing one-day memberships. You know, hey, I just moved into the area. I did that, I think, like 4 different times just over the course of 1 year. Like, I find myself, it's an hour to get across town to go to the gym, or I'd be throwing, you know, at random high schools across town. It was difficult. And I've gotten a lot better at being post-collegiate. It's kind of a skill to being kind of more on your own. It's a little better?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
Do you have any really standout memory from the games, opening ceremony, or?
I'll tell you what, I didn't go to the opening ceremony.
Really?
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how I was taking the Olympic experience seriously, which was, I mean, it's a good thing. You want to take it seriously because it was the biggest track meet I've ever been in my life. I wanted to make sure I didn't leave with regrets like, you know, I trained like an asshole. I didn't really care. I showed up and just wanted to just live the experience. And I threw like shit. I wanted to, you know, do due diligence and prepare as if it was like the meet of my life, which it was. Yeah. And in doing that, in kind of looking at the schedule of things, my coach at UCLA, John Frazier, he wasn't able to make it down to the Olympics because the Greek Federation couldn't pay for him to go. So we kind of both decided that it wouldn't be good for me to be without my coach and be in Rio, which it's kind of hard to remember now, but like leading up to the games, there was all sorts of questions about the state of facilities, of safety, and those kinds of concerns. Those were kind of real, and I remember having chats with my friends about like Zika and all this kind of thing. You know, whether there was going to be like good food to eat or whether it'd just be like a total shit situation. So when we looked at it, we decided like, no, you know, we're just going to go 1 week because shot put's near the end. Yeah. And in hindsight, should have gone to the opening ceremony. But I did the closing ceremony, so that was cool, kind of cool. Okay, so I've got 15. This is fairly light.
Yeah, I just do 3 sets of 5.
3 sets of 5 sounds good to me. Yeah. And I'm hitting the ground and pausing and then coming up each time.
Yeah, you can do a full reset is fine.
Cool, okay.
Like when you put the bar back on the blocks, keep the tension in your body, but let the tension out of the bar, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You tell me if this doesn't look like that.
That's good. On this next set, we can bring our gaze up a little bit.
Okay.
You're probably looking at the ground.
Close to the white line, yeah.
Right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's move it out to maybe like 10 feet in front of the platform.
You got it.
What's your
90 seconds.
90 seconds. All right.
And I didn't bring my phone out. Thanks.
I gotcha. Any Olympic Village stories? I've heard some things. Handsome young man like yourself, huh?
I'll tell you what. This is like the saddest part of the whole thing. Like no, nothing. No.
Between no opening ceremonies and no good Olympic Village stories.
I'll tell you what, man. I went out there.
You better make it in 2020.
I went out there late. I went out there representing Greece with a bunch of people who were on my team who I didn't really know because It was my second time representing the country. I didn't speak much Greek at the time. I still don't speak very much, but a little bit more. And most of my teammates, good people, they just, they hung out with themselves, and I didn't have a good group of people there. And I also went there in a relationship. And I'm a good guy, So I did my part. I went to sleep early and ate in the dining hall, and after competition, had some fun times drinking whiskey and playing FIFA with Pavel Fidek.
Let's go.
But nothing too crazy, I got to say. Something to be improved upon.
Yeah, I got to get you back in 2020 then.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
That bar a bit rough on the hook grip, eh?
Huh? Rough on the hook grip?
Yeah.
I really don't hook grip too much. I either just double overhand or strap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's just a double overhand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you surprised with my awesome grip strength? Chad?
That's strong. I'm not very good at the double overhand.
It's very nicely knurled.
It is.
So I'll give you some credit.
That's why I was thinking if you're hook gripping it, that's going to be tearing the shit out of your thumb. But
there was a point in college where I got pretty tough with the hook grip because I was just doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I think I've gone a bit soft.
Yeah.
Strap off. I'm not a weightlifter,
Yeah.
Take a knock on the ego and just, okay, fine. I don't need to be good at everything.
So what was your progression like high school on through to college, your distances in the shot?
So my freshman year of high school, I threw just over 51 feet at the Junior Olympic Nationals in Omaha, Nebraska.
When did you start doing track?
When I started doing track?
Yeah.
First time I ever did track at all was in 4th grade.
Okay.
My brother was fast, and that was what he was really good at. That was his thing, and so I wanted to run like him, but I was fat, so I threw shot put, and I was good at that. But I didn't actually train until high school. So I threw a little over 51 feet freshman year, 57 the next year. So I'll pick this up. Let's see.
I want you to try and squeeze your tricep into the side of your lat.
Okay.
All right, squeeze your tricep against your lat in the start.
Whew. Okay. So 57 at the end of my sophomore year, 60'10" as a junior in high school. This is all with the 12, of course, and then 65'4". Ooh, 65'4" as a senior. So, and then as a collegian, I started off at my freshman year through 61 feet.
Oh, wow.
Sophomore, yeah. Indoor season. Came out first meet through 60.
Just got right down to it.
I, on purpose, with my good buddy Julian Ruck, discus thrower for the Australian team and two-time NCAA champion.
Still NCAA record holder, yeah?
Contested. A lot of people don't consider it the official record because he didn't do it in a full competition. It was just a discus competition. So some people consider Hannes Hopley. That's another thing, but yeah, 68 meters discus in college. So he and I were roommates for a few years, and
you know how those 1500 meters affect the discus. So.
Yeah, big time. You know, the wind, and he and I were both kind of thin at the end of my freshman year of college, and thin for shot putter being like 230 pounds. And so we said, I'm tired of being thin and weak. We got to get big and strong. And so I gained about 60 pounds in 4.5 months. Like I knew what I was doing. My blood pressure spiked. My mom bought me a blood pressure monitor for Christmas that year. There was a point at which I was gaining an average of 1 pound a day.
What's the diet looking? What's the diet looking like for the pound a day?
We're eating in the dining halls at UCLA, which is ranked number 2 in the country for meal service prep.
Yeah, very good food. I remember that from the camp.
Yeah,
much better than Cal.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, as much as you can eat for every meal, and then for lunch and dinner, it's as much as you can eat plus 2 small chicken breasts at the end, and then dessert. So get to the point where you're really uncomfortably full, stuff down 2 chicken breasts, and then eat dessert. And then that for 2 of your 3 meals per day for 4 months on end.
But the as much as you can eat part, did you have any particular strategy to that?
Really, it was anything and everything. It was like as many calories as possible. Yeah. And as few and burn as few calories as possible while still doing your appropriate training. So no running. We took it very slowly up the stairs. This was a concerted effort. We executed perfectly. However, at the end of it, I was really fat.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a noble goal to have, but you did achieve it.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I gained a lot of weight. I gained some strength. And I gained a herniated disc in my back. So I don't really know what the net is on that, but I think it's bad. But anyway, after all that weight gain, I ended up throwing pretty far in the short term. Improved my shot PR, got up to 61 feet. End of sophomore year through, I'm sorry. My very freshman year I redshirted. My very freshman year I threw 57 feet. And then 61. And then 64, 1962, my 3rd year. And then 65, and then my senior year I went 67.7. So
that's your current PR now?
And that's my current PR. That was a big throw, and everything was kind of full blast getting ready for the game, so everything kind of came into line. So I've got some close grip. And close grip for me has been about here. How does that look? Actually, this is a good time for a real quick conversation.
Yeah.
I've been doing my regular grip here. How does that look wideness-wise, width-wise?
It's fine. I mean, it's just kind of whatever feels comfortable.
Actually, it's a little wider. Maybe it's about here.
Kind of whatever feels comfortable to you.
Bar. Yeah.
I don't know of any different like transference and grip width for the bench press.
Yeah, sure.
So as long as it feels comfortable, it's fine.
Sounds good to me.
Do you need to reduce this range of motion at all?
I think so. I've been just kind of stopping.
We can make that a bit better for you.
Has anybody ever told you that your plates are slick, kind of slippery? No?
You were just touting your grip strength.
Actually, that's what it is. I just exhausted my reserves, and now I've got nothing left. Speaking of shot putters and strength, I just saw Ryan Whiting post a video of himself one-arm snatching.
Yeah.
A pretty impressive looking number, and he didn't post the weight. Do we know what it was?
I thought it was 90 kilos.
Was it actually?
It was reds and greens, or reds and nondescript plates.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sure it was 80 or 90.
It's pretty impressive.
You just slide this under your shirt.
Sounds good to me. There's a good video of now disgraced
Jason Young, right?
Discus thrower Jason Young.
Yeah.
One-arm snatching 90 as well.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking lift.
And full one-arm snatch.
Oh yeah, he locks it out. Yeah.
A very athletic move.
Okay.
Is that alleviating the issue at all?
That's perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
You just do that with like a foam roller or a yoga mat like that when you're at school?
You gave me percentages for this lift,
Uh-huh.
but we didn't have an established 1 rep max to work from, so I was just kind of doing it by feel.
Yeah, I mean...
When the reps are a little higher, I've been pushing a little bit more and that kind of thing. Or opposite.
Like 10 kilos less than your regular bench max is probably appropriate.
Okay. And I think today it's also 65.
Yeah.
And 65 working from the bench max of 170. What is that?
105.
Well, here we are. It's 15 reps, I believe, also.
Yeah. This one, because the weight's so light and bench, the speed qualities don't really matter. You could do like a set of 8, set of 7.
Sounds good to me.
There's 100 though, if you want to just put the...
Oh, yeah. I like how you keep me accountable.
Yeah. Just put the big color on.
What's the other one?
That's a Ivanka one, this is a Rogue one. I mean, this will work, but this part goes inside.
You and your like fancy gadgets. I mean, like back when I was growing up, we would.
I know you guys just lift goats and stuff in Greece, so.
Oh, in Greece, totally different story, man. Yeah.
What is the support for Greek athletics like?
You want to believe that they're doing everything they can. That's just kind of what it comes down to, because it really doesn't feel like it. And that's speaking as someone who's trying not to sound, ungrateful, because this is a position that I wouldn't be in if I were competing for the United States, seeing as it's a much more competitive pool of shot putters. But that being said, it's difficult. I mean, I'm an employee of the Greek government, which doesn't seem like a very good
they haven't been
employer in the moment.
They haven't had a great decade or so.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised that I mean obviously Greece is the homeland of the Olympics, but after the Olympics, like was sort of the straw that broke the economic camel's back.
I've been told that if you were an athlete back in 04,
yeah,
you were king.
Yeah.
And since then,
seems like they may have really soured on the Olympics since then.
Yeah, it's a little different story. I mean, what it actually is and why it feels so uncomfortable is that they pay when they can, when they've got the cash. So it's not reliable.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's like
that makes it
they can tell me I am worth this amount of support per month. And it's it would be helpful, but it's not something to actually be counted on, because I'll go a few months, nothing at all. And honestly, it's really not even the cash that's the most frustrating part. It's more that sometimes I'll reach out and they'll be kind of difficult to respond to regarding flights or logistics. And part of that could just be the nature of the beast and the bureaucratic system of the federation, as I'm sure lots of federations, have their difficulties with. But it could also just be that I'm just not there.
Yeah.
And I don't have the kind of like the network developed because I'm not of their system and from their system.
Was it a tough process getting citizenship?
Yes, it was easier than, say, your average Greek who has their entire lineage is Greek, especially if they're third generation like I am, just because of the fact that the athletics, the federation was able to kind of expedite the process and get me going a little quicker. But it took about a good 8 months of running back and forth between Greek consulate and faxing papers back and forth between lawyers, that kind of thing. So But since then, I mean, it's definitely been a worth it process. And for my sister too, who's doing what I'm doing, it was good to kind of get that out of the way so that she can kind of just roll into it.
You have a favorite memory? Did you like Diamond League type of tour last year, or just like
did not
the circuit?
No, I haven't really been on the circuit. So 2017 season, I had a couple of professional meets, and one of them was a really cool one where I was with a whole group of pro athletes, like early in the outdoor season. It was almost like a vacation prepper for the outdoor season in early May to the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe. So like on a plane with, like LaShawn Merritt and like Jenna Prandini and all these, superstar athletes. And some good shot putters. I mean, O'Dane Richards threw, and Ryan Krauser and Chuck Inakwechi and the whole gang. And so it was just 2 days of hanging out at a resort and then throwing shot put for money. So that was pretty cool. And other than that, I mean, I've been to Luxembourg, meets around Greece, done some good traveling. Every year I get to go countries that, you wouldn't really plan to put on your vacation schedule.
Yeah.
Upcoming Winter Throws Cup this year will be in Slovenia, so maybe I'll go there. Otherwise, probably wouldn't. But that's the kind of the goal this year, to get on a bit more of an actual tour and link together a series of meets where I'm, Diamond League or not, or World Tour meets, those kinds of things, World Challenge meets. That's the goal with my agent, to kind of get on board with that. And what was frustrating this past year too, with a little bit of injury issues, right at the end of May, literally 2 days before I was going to be on a flight to Europe to begin preparing for the European season, tore an intercostal, which was kind of a vexing injury.
Yeah.
Just because
every movement hurts when that muscle hurts.
And when, as an athlete, you get really good at feeling a pain in your training and knowing kind of immediately how long it'll prevent you from training or throwing or weightlifting, whatever it may be. And initially when I had this pain, it was like, okay, maybe that's a few days, take a rest.
Yeah.
And it ended up being 5 weeks of therapy every single day and that kind of thing. And it was pretty shit, but we worked through it and ended up having a good season when it came to Europeans and everything, so that worked out.
So this is Nick Scarvelis, Olympian for a Greek Olympic team in 2016 in the shot put. So helping them out, hopefully going to have a great 2019 season. Nick, where can they follow you on social media and stuff?
Social media, I've got an Instagram account that's at Nicholas Scarvelis. That's my full name, Nicholas Scarvelis. And I'm also on Facebook.
I'll have to put that on the screen because they probably won't be able to spell it.
I can spell out my entire name if you want.
Go for it.
It's at NicholasScarvelis. So at that.
All right. And the first big one, European indoors, right?
First big one this year is European indoors in Scotland.
First weekend of March.
First weekend of March, and then a long outdoor season which culminates in World Outdoor Championships in Doha, Qatar. So that's the goal.
All right. I'm excited for it, bud.
Me too.